Hey Leo, it's Angela. We are here. We're going to do a quick mid-month update for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And then anyone else who comes through and sees this video and feels like, oh, let me learn about that. And it's for you too. The guidance is for you too. These are intuitively drawn. The cards are intuitively drawn. I have the energy of Leo in mind as I'm shuffling, but it's, energy is fluid, time is fluid, all of that stuff. So we're not constrained, like this isn't a chart reading or anything that's constrained by fact or anything. This is intuition. We get to move with the flow of things here. Okay, and for you, Leo, I pulled an oracle card from this deck called Divine Directions. And it's a very simple, straightforward deck, but I love it because it just hits home every time I pull one. It's like, oh yeah, that's something to think about. I wanted to tell you guys, invite you to go to my website, check out the video I posted a couple days ago about the event that's coming up, the Grounded Dreamers Mystical Fair. It's going to be sort of an online retreat with different practitioners and modalities on offer so that you could get a taste of their skills and their expertise, all with the goal in mind of improving the self, improving the spirit, expanding your soul, which is what Grounded Dreamers is all about. So check it out. It would be great to see some of you there. All right, Leo, for you, the card I pulled is birth. Now, for me, I'm a Leo, you know that. This is like, well, hello, the mystical fair. It's like the project has been born, right? I've finally been able to release it to the public. We've been working on it for pretty much all this year. We held a little pilot of it in April, and now the real one's going wide. So this is a time of new beginnings. Embrace the new life with open arms. So for some of you, this could be literal. You could literally be ready to give birth. Some of you, it could be a creative project. It could be creating a new sort of facet of yourself that you want to really develop, maybe a new skill, a new approach, a new way of seeing life. Maybe you've had a glass half empty kind of a vibration for a long time, and you're going to really strive to flip that around and be more positive minded and seeing things with more positivity. That's birth right there, the birth of a new aspect of you really coming through and shining through. So for all of you, whatever that clicked, like when you saw the new beginnings kind of a vibration, whatever came to mind, that's what this is for you. Okay, now let's look a little bit at the Zen guidance here and see what we got going. See the details as to how to approach new beginnings or how to make them work for us. Okay, your starting point is maturity. I keep pulling this a lot for people at this time. I love it. Your wisdom, your experience, all that you've amassed to this point is at play, and it is working together with you in order to create new. So you've made it to this point, learned a lot. You can probably take shortcuts at this point if this is like birthing a project and bringing through a new creative endeavor like myself. You can just trust that all you've experienced to this point can be utilized in the creation of that. This could be a new career. It could be a new partner. It could be leaving a partner and the new beginning for yourself on your own. But whatever that is, your life experience to this point can carry you forward, right? It can be there. That's a beautiful starting point for this spread. I love it. Within you and internally, the energy that supports this maturity card is slowing down. Look at that. Take your time, Leo. Yeah, like with this new project I have, the Mystical Fair and Grounded Dreamers as a whole, because there's a whole big vision for that I can see and I wish was just manifested in this moment, but it takes time, right? I have other stuff going on. I have kids to raise. I have another job, a day job, and taking my time to make sure that all the steps as I move toward my new beginning, that everything's aligned, and everything, like this tortoise won't really, obviously can't really thrust himself forward. He's just, every step is important. And in every step, his feet are exactly under him, instead of like, anticipating 4 steps ahead. Just pace yourself. Things will unfold in the way they're supposed to. And if you can keep yourself grounded within, internally, in more of an accepting, slower pace that accepts that, Rome wasn't built in a day, kind of a vibe, then you will have success. Okay. These 2 energies, your life wisdom and your pacing yourself appropriately toward this new beginning, or in the start of this new beginning, in your external world, it results in this friendliness card. This is you fully aligned, as your full being. That, let's just say you are the pink tree, right? And your project is the yellow tree, or you're the pink tree and your new way of being is the yellow tree. Well, they can work parallel with one another. They can work in concert together, right? And if you notice the pink and the yellow, where they're blended, it's a little bit orange. So your ability to move forward in a naturally paced, steady, solid, grounded way is fully supported here in these cards. I mean, I'm kind of getting chills myself, because I get a lot of, I don't know about, I think many of us do, but I get a lot of like mental, I question myself, I worry, I stress that this isn't happening fast enough, when like it's happening in perfect timing, right? But my mind gets carried away, and I flip myself out sometimes, instead of just knowing. If I ground myself in the vibration of this project that I want to create, and know that it's coming from a place within me, it's fully aligned with who I am. I'm showing up, into the world as the person I am, and the decisions I make as each step gets decided going forward, if they're always aligned with who I am, it's always moving in perfect timing. Whether my chattering mind thinks so or not, because my chattering mind is like, you're not going fast enough, and it's not wrong, because it's me. It's coming from me. It's coming from my own abilities and experiences and knowledge, and that helps me to move at a more natural pace, and that sets me up for success too. Okay, so now we get to try to understand this from a higher perspective, and the key to moving forward through that, I love this, is hilarious. I just said this. The mental chatter in my mind is at odds with the alignment that my body and spirit, my soul knows. And my mind kind of, look at, that's my mind right there, the little fighting figures. So this energy has to be soothed and really released. The mental, our minds are strong tools, right? They're important to have as we, make decisions and move forward in our project, especially if it's something new. But it cannot be the only factor. The mind is great for organizing, making lists, making decisions, taking action, deciding when to act. But your the groundedness of who you are, and the wisdom that you carry, and your willingness to let things flow in the pace that the universe is showing up for you, that's invaluable. We have to be able to quiet the mind a little more in order to make some progress. Okay, and then once you start to become more aware of those thoughts that are sort of at odds with your natural flow of rhythm. Once you become aware of it, you can, quiet it down a little bit. Maybe I get a lot of stressful thoughts, like I'm not moving fast enough, and I should have made a deadline 2 weeks ago for this, and it's barely happening now. Oh my gosh, that just can really, really get in the way. And instead, it's a matter of releasing that and going, it's all okay. It's working out the way it's supposed to. Take a breath. Deadlines don't need to be always adhered to. That was sort of that, a lot of the deadlines I have in my mind are completely manufactured by me. They're not organic. They're not sensible. It's not like no one's telling me have a deadline, make a deadline, and I do it to myself, right? That's the mental energy that needs to get quieted, and then allow for what's present, to engage with that. Like, oh, I have a deadline. I should have had that done, but oh, wait, if I would have met that deadline, I wouldn't have seen this whole new set of possibilities or details to iron out that I really need to iron out. So let me move with that. Let me move with, as I'm learning as I grow, right? Let me move with what's presented to me. Okay, so now we get to sort of mellow out that mental chatter a little bit. And where do we end up? Oh, love it. Oh my gosh. We end up with more clarity, right? The veil is lifted. Oh, this is making sense now, right? I had in my mind that it had to happen in this timing and in this order. And but I was willing to just slow it down a little bit and go with what the natural pace and rhythm of the universe is providing me. And now look, I see it more clearly. I didn't need the deadline because I had this direction to go in as well, right? Whatever this is, I'm basing this on a project that is, being created just because I'm relating to that. But this could also be, a way of being that, I want to create a new way of being. I want to make sure I'm more positive minded. And when those negative thoughts come creeping in, keeping me from being able to progress forward in a positive manner, I just need to call awareness to those and let them kind of fall away. And then I get more clarity. Then I'm using my positive minded approach, and it's helping me to see things better. It's helping me to realize that, anything that was that I perceived was in my way because it was negative was really just my perception. And now I get to see it in a new way. So that awareness, that the veil gets lifted at some point, you start to see things more clearly and know, yeah, I have a new beginning and a fresh start, and I'm moving organically with my own natural pace and the rhythm that spirit is calling me in. And then I see it much more clearly. And then this internal energy here of intensity is kind of going to help fire things up. I feel like the acknowledgement of the that fighting mental energy being able to sort of coexist with what's drawing you, what's nudging you forward intuitively, or what pace you're willing to slow down to, can help this sort of mental energy dissipate a little bit. And that helps me see things more clearly. And then once I'm in that space of less mental chatter and more organic movement, that's when the intensity comes. Then I'm propelled forward, right? And then the outcome or the insight or the overview into this process of creating new for yourself, whatever that is the source. It's a reminder you have always been at the core of all of your shifts in life, all of your endeavors, all of the new projects you bring on, or the new people you engage with, any newness and new paths have all been really guided by your source, And that's, sort of your third chakra vibe, and, the core of who you are is always present, driving you forward. Once this awareness comes and the clarity and the intensity, you really start to know, wow, like I'm a powerful force. I really, really can get stuff done. Right. And it doesn't have to be sped through. It doesn't have to have deadlines attached to it, but I can really get stuff done if I'm moving at the natural pace that I'm being called to move in. So I love this. I think I'm going to have to rewatch this one for myself, because I do have new beginnings, big new beginnings coming. And yeah, and it has been a little bit of a challenge, to sort of trust myself and trust the timing of it. But I think that clarity and that awareness is actually coming for me. It feels really good. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Thank you for sticking with me. And I'll be back real soon.